As we usually try to do here in the middle of the week when we have a qualifying day, have some qualifiers and schoolers in, I'd like to give you a little update how the week has gone, what has taken place this week. We had a beautiful day today. We scooted, a little cold, but we scooted some horses along today. For those of you that are in the area, it is supposed to be gorgeous on Saturday. Sunny, -5 in the morning going up to +1. Just about the perfect weather to train these babies this time of year. So if you're in the Campbellville area on Saturday, I shouldn't say all of them. We have a lot of horses. The OCD surgeries were done on Glare IM and Braemar. Everything went perfect. We had another horse today, Brilliant Corners. His hock was a little boggy. He may have an OCD in his hock. If he does, the surgeon told me she'll try and squeeze him in quick and get that taken care of. No problem. I would rather know about it now rather than whine about it. I'd rather know about it now and get it taken care of. And then we had a few horses castrated this week. They obviously won't be going in the training sets. Some curbs cryoed. They won't be going in the training sets. So of the 65 we have, 55 will likely be training on Saturday. Still a lot of horses. If you're in the area, probably be a real good day to come out because the weather looks on my phone anyway to be spectacular. So we'll get to what we took care of today. I thought we were going to have a tremendous day after I schooled the first one. I watched the next one go. I was happy. And then Forged and Fire made a little break, just being green and stupid. Or, as one of our clients cleverly put, he got angry at being doubled up. Maybe he did, Johnny. I don't know. But he wasn't going to move. I'm not moving that horse there. I mean, geez, he's just a baby. He needs to learn. So that's part of it. He was just a little racy. He wanted to get at it. I clicked my watch off. I had a stopwatch with me. I clicked my watch off at the 3/4 pole, and I charted his own last quarter in 28-1, 28-2. That's what I got him in. And he was flying down the lane. So very impressed with all the horses. Let's get to the start of it. That was Excellent Nation. I told you guys last week how good he schooled, and he looked unbelievable today. 57-3 last quarter, 27-4. Now, there was no wind, and the track was hard today, so you got a lot of speed. You saw Sintra come the last half in, I don't know, 45 seconds or something. Whatever he went, he paced the last half in like 53 in his qualifier. And the qualifier after that, Sunshine's Finest, and he was charted 27 flat on the end of it. James said he was okay, but he's always been kind of underwhelming. And, you know, in that type of situation, especially coming off that. Now, so I'll get the first one out of the way. Excellent Nation was absolutely fantastic. If you watch closely, his head pole broke and fell off at the half. They may have missed that, but you can clearly see it. And he wasn't running in. He was very, very good. I was really impressed with how Excellent Nation looked. Secondly, was Sunshine's Finest. And James said, he was all right, a little flat. Now, when I get injured, same day he did, I didn't do a whole lot for 2 months. And for the first few weeks, I did as little as possible. And by the end of the first month, I looked like Montgomery Burns, right? I'd lost 12, 13 pounds, most of it muscle, right? You know, you just, you lose a lot. This horse stood in a stall for 5 months. One, to be very clear, let's just get this out of the way first off, and I've said this before, but in case you forgot, if Dr. John Hennessy was not here when I was laying over on the track with a broken arm and broken ribs, that horse would have been euthanized. And I'll tell you why, because it was only the precision of an x-ray machine, which they don't have on site. It was only the precision of an x-ray machine that let them know that, in fact, this horse did not have a horrible fracture. They couldn't see how wide it was at the time. It opened up later, but the crack itself was not catastrophic. So I'm laying on the track, and I'm in a lot of pain, and I sit up. I get up to my feet, and I walk over to the car, the starting gate, and I sit down. And Jody and James come running over. You know, they said, "Are you all right?" And, you know, clearly my arm was broke. I could see that. My elbow hurt like it could have likely been broke. Shoulder, ribs, it was hard to breathe a little bit. And I had said to Jody, I said, "Listen, I need you to go over there, and if that horse is bad, I need you to tell them it's okay to put him down, because I know Harry won't do it." And the reason is Harry is in a bad spot, right? We have a lot of owners on Sunshine's Finest. To make a decision of that magnitude on the spot, it is his decision as a trainer, but tough spot to be in, and I knew that he was going to be in a tough spot, you know, even in the state I was in. I felt like I wanted to be euthanized, but I know that Harry couldn't have made that decision. It would have been very difficult for him. So when Jody got over there, he said, yeah, he's in bad shape. Now, Dr. John Hennessy is here most qualifying days because he scopes a lot of horses and he has a lot of clients that are qualifying. So he comes to the qualifiers like many vets do. But sometimes none do. But on this day, John was here with a mobile x-ray machine. Not a lot of vets even have them. He took the x-rays and they decided, rather than euthanize him on the spot, as the commission vet would have done, that they were going to send him to the University of Guelph and get him looked at. So whatever happens from here on in, we all owe a debt of gratitude to Dr. Hennessy, because nothing against the commission vet, from the tools that he had in front of him, this was a case for euthanasia. And as it turned out, if it wasn't for John's quick thinking, the fact that we're 25 minutes to the university, and the professionalism of the surgeons there at the University of Guelph, we wouldn't have had a horse right now. So getting past that, you have the fact that the horse stood in the stall for 5 months. So as I said to our clients and partners on the horse, for all intents and purposes, this is still a 2-year-old, because the vast majority of his 3-year-old season, he stood in a stall. Remember, he got hurt in April. Stood in his stall well into the end of the summer, first part of fall. Jogged him, trained him. It's like starting all over, right? He lost all his muscle. And for the horse to go 58.27, hard track, downhill track, any kind of track, it was a good mile. And as I said to James, I know he's a little sulky, but can you blame him? He's been through a lot. He's just gonna, and plus he never liked when horses were pacing away from him, right? He had that horse long gone. He was going as fast as he could to pass the horse in front of him. He worked as hard as he could. I thought he did well. He's gonna need some more of your patience. That's what he's gonna need. He's gonna need a few starts, maybe 3, 4, 5 starts, to really get his legs under him, and then we can decide where he needs to go. But you can be sure he's not going to pace 53 next week. You're probably going to see him pace 56, 57 for the first 3, 4, 5, 6 starts that we race him. So where we race him and how we race him is important. I'd like to keep him off the B tracks. So his first start will be here when Mohawk opens. Now the good thing is we can bring him over here during the Mohawk break and really train him up hard, train him a couple of miles in 57, and hopefully get a head start to that first start 2024 Sunshine's Finest. Then I went with Forged in Fire. So I was happy with Finest. I wasn't surprised. If anything, that was as good or a little better than I thought he'd be. So I was happy. I went with Forged in Fire. I was more worried about getting him off the gate. In fact, when I come on the track, I asked the starting gate if I could follow him down the backstretch once, just so we got it. He was good. He got away not bad. He was off the gate, maybe a length and a bit. And I thought we were fine because he'd never had any problems. And then coming to the half, he wanted to get at it. And I think he maybe spooked from the guy in front of him, maybe moved his whip. I couldn't tell, but he just rolled off, which was heartbreaking for me. I love this horse. Not the end of the world, certainly not a big deal in the big scheme of things, but a little disappointing. So I stopped my watch and I reset it just as we hit the 3/4 pole. He trotted his last quarter in 28-1, 28-2. I was really, really impressed with him. So that was that, and then we had 2 schoolers. Many of you may have watched, many of you watch all our horses. You watched Totally Tactor race really poorly in Flamborough's last start as the favorite. We had him scoped after and he bled. This was the second time he'd shown blood in a scope, so we decided, you know what, let's not rush here. Let's give him a week off, treat him up for what we already know is going on, and then we will school him on Lasix, see how he responds to that medication, and then we'll put him on the Lasix program. It's exactly what we're going to do. He won a mile in 58-3, 58-4 today, and was very, very good. So we'll enter him on the Lasix program. He'll race next Sunday, a week from this coming Sunday. He will race. The reason being for that, you have to have 14 clear days. So Totally Tactor will race next Sunday, so roughly 11 days from right now. And then Gold Watch was green at the gate. I heard him hit the wheel. As soon as he hit the wheel, he made a break. Come right back pacing, hit the wheel again, come right back pacing. James said he just has to change the gear on the horse. Training a horse down is not like when you get them in a racing situation. Sometimes you have to make some significant equipment changes, and I think we are well on our way to doing that. We'll have to maybe do some vet work on him and then put the proper equipment on him, and I think we'll be off to the races with Gold Watch. We'll probably qualify him and Forged in Fire next Saturday. Now the qualifiers have moved to Saturday at 4 p.m. Also for Gold Watch, we'll move him and Forged in Fire over to Flamborough to qualify next Saturday afternoon. Monday we had a great day, didn't we? Cavill Hanover, fastest mile of his life, was in a freezing cold night. 54 flat. He finished second in 53 in a good class. He's up a bit, but in a good spot, I think, in a 6-horse field on Monday evening. Oso Pine is in to go again. I didn't look at his class close, but I think he'll be a little bit better than he was the other day. Cabernet raced last night, finished second in 2-1 on an off track in a cold night, and lost a shoe. Many of you had messaged me after and said, what equipment did she break? She lost a shoe. So, as you can imagine, on an icy track, that's a significant hindrance to how you're going to race the rest of your mile, and she did well to finish second. Tomorrow, we have Road Tripper and West 52nd in. Road Tripper's going to need 2, 3, 4 starts to get back in shape. His feet really, and this has been a problem since day one with this colt. He's not a colt anymore. With this horse, this has been a real problem, is his feet. Jared has made some significant shoeing changes. His blacksmith believes he has him under control, so we'll see how that goes. I'd like to get a flat line on him Friday and then have him entered for Boxing Day back in the class below where he actually belongs. I think that would be great. So a perfect world would be a flat line, maybe get a check, that'd be good. A flat line and a check on Friday night so we can re-enter. He will be re-entered so he can race on Thursday, Boxing Day, Thursday, I assume afternoon. Those two are in to go. West 52nd drew the 9-hole again. You know, I know you guys are frustrated, but you're going to have a little patience with this. James can't drive him any more aggressively. I think what he did drove him right last week. Hopefully the same type of trip, and it just works out a little differently. Jody's horse was parked the whole way and kind of not really stuck in the way because he was digging right to the wire, but kind of stalled the inside flow, and he never did get to race. So that's not the end of the world. We'd like to get some money with him and give him a chance to race this week, but I'd rather James drive him the same way he drove him last week, to be honest. And then White Tiger has made his return. He's going to be back in to go. He's back in to go Saturday, 4-1 in the non-winners of 6,000. What you might see is both Arvika and White Tiger entered back, because I hope they'll both win their way out of that class or get a big chunk of money and not fit that class, in which case having them back in to go Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Saturday, Thursday. Again, I would like to be able to steal some money with White Tiger. It's no cakewalk in that class, but if he made the money, he would fit a much higher class. But if he makes money on Saturday, and we already have him entered in to go because of Christmas, they draw Friday for Thursday. I'm thinking Saturday for Thursday might be a really good idea. Maintenance Man is back also. He's going to race Saturday night for Harry Polton. Easton Ivy is in to go again. I put Easton Ivy up for sale and no takers. Didn't get any takers on Easton Ivy. I'm a little surprised. You know, you could sell any horse all summer, and now here's a horse with 4 lifetime starts, 2 wins, a second and a third, priced fair, I think, and no calls on Ivy. So we have Road Tripper, West 52nd, White Tiger, Arvika, Cavill, Hanover, and Oso Pine are back in to go Monday, as Arvika is, and then Easton Ivy and Maintenance Man. We're looking for Thursday's entry. For tomorrow will likely be Excellent Nation in the maiden, Sunshine's Finest in the non-winners at 2. I think we might enter Arvika and White Tiger back in also, and then we also have Road Tripper potentially back in also. So it should be a great Boxing Day if you're out and about. If everything goes well, I was hoping that Forged in Fire would be in, but oh well, not the end of the world for the big colt. The fact that he's here is mesmerizing, to be honest. Is shocking that he is at the races and he looks as talented as he does. 28-2 or 1 on the end of it. Big mile for that colt. Anyway, we'll get him qualified next Saturday at Flamborough, and we'll get Gold Watch qualified also, and start getting some of these fall-winter horses going. Brush Cut, very close. Emerald Miss, very close. I downplayed how close Emerald Miss was the other day, and my apologies. Kevin told me he trained her in 2.5, and she was very good. Trained Brush Cut in 2.3, and he was very good. Probably looking for a mile in 2 minutes or so out of both of them, and then they will be in to qualify. I don't really want to take Emerald Miss to the B tracks. I hope Kevin doesn't want to do that. I'd rather wait till Mohawk opens for her especially. So that's it. That's a 14-minute qualifying report. Probably the longest ever. But you know what? Lots to talk about. I would have been extremely elated had it not been for the little hiccup from Forged in Fire, but truthfully speaking, I was very, very happy with everybody. So that's a qualifying report. I'll be back on the weekend, a special weekend report for you guys with the Christmas holiday coming. It has been a tremendous fall, best fall we've ever had, and I couldn't be happier with the results. I will be back on Saturday. And as I said, if you guys are in the area, come out. Should be, by the looks of the weather report, it should be a fantastic, fantastic day for training the babies. Take care.